Howdy y'all, welcome back to my channel. I'm CT and this is CT in my shoes. Today we're going to be looking at challenges and goals. What's the difference, why have them, how they can help, and how they can actually hurt a little. So they seem similar. When you talk to someone about setting your goals, they seem challenging. And when you talk to someone about different challenges, it seems like you're creating goals. But they are a little bit different. So let's see, a goal is the purpose towards which an endeavor is directed, an objective, the terminal point of a journey or a race. So a goal is something to achieve, specific in line if you're looking at it that way. A challenge is more the course to get there. It's to engage in a contest, fight, or competition, to take part in something. Think about it, the challenge is the journey, the goal is the finish line. That's the way I like to look at things. So let's see, how are they helpful? Now, both can help us lift our eyes up to see a little bit further down the road than what's immediately in front of us. A lot of times when we get in any kind of like fitness journey or education path or anything like that, we get very focused on what's right in front of us, which is great because that's where we need to put a lot of our attention. But if we don't make a roadmap, if we don't make a plan, sometimes it makes it hard to come to the end goal. And so both a challenge and a goal help us to look up, see what's down the road, see what's past that, see how we can move forward more efficiently. They also can help us to, they can help inspire us to push a little bit harder, to have a reason, to have a cause, to have something behind. There's a famous boxer, Buster Douglas, and Buster Douglas fought Mike Tyson. And I'm sure you've heard the story before, but right before Buster Douglas fought Mike Tyson, he told his mother that he was going to beat Mike Tyson. And before the fight, his mother passed away. And Mike Tyson actually knocked him down. And at the end of the round, he was saved by the bell. He was on his count, and he was saved by the bell. He gets up. Next round, Mike comes out, just as everyone thought. And but Buster flipped it on him. Buster knocked out Mike Tyson. And when they asked him why, he said the last thing he told his mother is he was going to knock out Mike Tyson. And so the point is to find your why, to find your challenge, to find your goal. That's what can drive us forward. It's a pretty awesome story. And both challenges and goals help us get there. So challenges help us target specific elements. It could be, I'm challenging myself to eat more vegetables. I'm challenging myself to drink 120 ounces of water, whatever it is. A goal, those are immeasurable milestones. That could be, I have a goal to run a 5K next year. In order to get to that goal, I'm going to challenge myself to start running more, to, I have my steps to get to the goal. So think about the journey and the finish line. That's the way I like to think about it. Obviously, if you have a different way, correct me, whatever. The other thing that challenges and goals give us is metrics. Now, they give us measurable units that we can actually look at progress. So if you say my goal is to be in a size 42 pant, I challenge myself to eat better to get to that goal. I challenge myself to, eat less fried food, to not eat past 10 p.m., something like that. Now what that gives me is a metric because I'm at a 48 waist. I want to be at a 42. And so as I go down, I can say, okay, I'm at a 46, I'm at a 44. And you start to measure that time. It gives you increments. Now, how can they be harmful? With anything, any of these measurements can get so nitpicky that you lose focus on what the end goal is. You can lose focus on the journey if all you're looking at is your baby steps and your metrics. If all we're looking at is the number on the scale, that can be misleading. For instance, I am trying to lose weight. I'm trying to lose size. I'm trying to lose volume. I've talked about that before. And when I started this, I was 503 pounds. Last month, I was 573.9. That's a good loss. This month, I'm only weighing myself on the first Sunday of every month. This month, I dropped down to 471.3. So I dropped 2.6 pounds in a month. And that's disheartening. I am actually disheartened by that number because metrics can be misleading when you just look at it. But when you look at my overall body composition and how I'm feeling, it is drastically different. So I'm thinking maybe I gained some muscle. Maybe I changed the way my body is. I don't know. Now, what can I do to make that better? Instead of just looking at that single metric, I can reach out and try and find a body comp scale. What this does is it gives you what's the difference in fat versus muscle versus water, how dense are your bones, all that. So that's actually what I'm looking into. That way, when I look at the weight on the number on the scale, it's not just out of context. So that way I can actually start tracking, say maybe I didn't lose as much weight as I wanted, but instead I was able to reshape my body. I'm able to fit in a smaller shirt, something like that. So I do warn you, if you're using these, don't just use the metrics by themselves. Use them in correlation with others. Okay, so let's start off with challenges. For me, I have some personal challenges. Recently, I've done the push-up challenge. Now, what's the push-up challenge, you ask? When I was living in Austin, Texas, I was working out at CrossFit Central, and Jeremy Teal was my coach there. Amazing guy, super energetic. He's very passionate about his sport. And right before COVID hit, he had talked about this 1,000 push-up challenge. I kind of laughed at him because I'm like, there's no way I can do 1,000 push-ups. I can't even do one push-up. But one of the great things that Jeremy was able to do with everything is modify it to fit me personally and to fit everyone, which made it a lot easier so that I wasn't going to get hurt. Big rumor you hear about CrossFit is, oh, everyone pushes and you get hurt. Not true. If you have a good coach, they will take care of you. And Jeremy's an amazing coach. His whole staff is amazing. So the push-up challenge, I don't know the origin of it. Maybe I can get him to do a little reply. But the whole point of it is, you start off on week 1 and you do 22 push-ups a day. On week 2, you're doing 43 push-ups a day. Week 4, you're doing, I think, 86 push-ups a day. On week 5, you're doing 108 push-ups a day. So you're building up. That way you build up your muscle endurance and your form and everything else. And the hope is by week 9, you're able to do 1,000 push-ups in a 24-hour period. I did it last year, and I saw amazing results throughout my shoulder and chest, and I loved it. So this year I decided I'm going to do it. I also added air squats. When you're my weight, your body weight is a great way to work out. So I was doing air squats. I was doing more kind of side workouts with bands. Put them all on my Instagram channel. I thought that was amazing. I finished the push-up challenge 3 weekends ago, and it was tough, but got through it, and it's amazing. Now, the next step with that, this is going to be my personal challenge, is I'm going to every morning do a random number generator. Now, whatever that number is, between 0 and 100, that's how many push-ups that day I'm going to do. So I'm going to start posting that to my Instagram channel saying this is the number, and then showing me complete out. I'll probably just show the last 10, but that way you can see me knocking those out. So that's going to be just a regular thing I'm going to do for next year, and I'm going to see how it changes my body count. Let's see other challenges I have. Virtual challenges. Right now with COVID, a lot of us saw a drop in the amount of runs that we did and the amount of fitness challenges that we had. So these virtual challenges actually became a realistic thing. Recently, I signed up for the Conqueror Challenge. I'll put the link down below. And it's pretty easy, actually. You can use your fitness tracking app, whether it's Strava, Fitbit, Apple Monitor, whatever it is. And you get to pick the level of challenge. So how many miles you either want to bike, run, walk, whatever. And you get to pick your timeline. So my first one that I did, let's see, I did the English Channel Challenge, which was 21 miles, and I completed it, and it was pretty cool. They give you this awesome medal. It's really feels pretty classy medal, great ribbon, and I liked it so much I actually started talking with my friend Tony, who is becoming Groomzilla as his wedding is looming in September. So we decided to do the Great Ocean Road in Australia, since both of us have been there. So we did that. That was 149 miles. So we just completed that recently. So now I have 2 of these, and I just think it's great. It's really, it's a pretty ribbon, high quality. I'm actually going to get some like wooden mounts for my wall. So it's just kind of cool. It reminds me that we did this, and what's awesome about it is we actually split this. So 149 miles, we each did about 74 miles. And it tracks it, and what's cool is you can actually see a street view along the way. We just started our 3rd one, the Grand Canyon. I think it's 280 miles, so been walking a lot. I'm starting to run, so that's an example of a virtual challenge. It could be a virtual challenge on Instagram. It could be, if you're on TikTok, it could be on that. But any which way, these virtual challenges, they're great. Other types of challenges, dietary challenges. My sisters threw out some dietary challenges, you know, whether it's eat more vegetables, eat 4 servings of vegetables a day, or fruit. I'm doing a water challenge of, I'm up to now 256 ounces a day. That's my challenge to myself, is to drink 256 ounces of water a day. So these are all types of challenges. Now my progress so far, let's see. Other challenges that I have is I want to, my friend Ashley put out there that he wanted to do a 5K every day in the month of May. I took that challenge. I did 29 out of 31 days. I missed 2. One of them I was at work, and one of them I was recovering from a little bit of an injury. But what's cool about it is I actually completed 2 in-person 5Ks as well. I completed the Memorial Day 5K up in Clearwater. And actually we'll start with, I completed the Run for the Roses 5K, the Rotary Run for the Roses, which was in my neighborhood. This is my first 5K I'd done in since 2007. Met this amazing woman and her daughter, and we walked together. We finished at last. We finished it in 1 hour and 7 minutes, and but it was great. I finished. Then I went and I did this one on Memorial Day, and I finished this one at 57 minutes, 57:37 I think was my final time. I actually was able to jog the last half mile, so that's cool. And then this past weekend, I did the Pride 5K, met back up with the same lady, Kathy, and walked the Pride 5K with her. We finished in 1 hour and 3 minutes. So still an improvement. I didn't run the end. I wanted to walk with her. So still an improvement from my first, but overall, these challenges show progress. These challenges are tangible elements to show that I'm moving forward in these challenges. Now, I talked a lot about challenges. Let's see, told you about my push-up challenges, my virtual challenges, told you about my upcoming push-up challenge, my water challenge. If anyone ever wants to get into any of these with me, please let me know, reach out. I'd love to do, you know, I'm just starting swimming. I'm terrible at it, but I'd love to do a swimming challenge with someone. I'd love to get into some more dietary. I'm actually working on switching into maybe a meatless Monday or something like that. So if that's your bag and you want to get in and you need an accountability partner, I'd love to do that with you. Let's see, what else do we have? We've talked a lot about challenges, but now let's talk about goals. There are multiple types of goals. You can have a very specific goal that isn't very outlined. I could say, I want to weigh 315 pounds. That is very specific number. But without other elements around it, that's just kind of like great, like I want $1 million. But if you have no course and if it's not realistic, then it's not going to be achievable. So you'll hear something called a SMART goal. That stands for specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timely. So specific, what do I want to accomplish? Why is it important? Who's involved? Where is it located? Which resources? What's limited? Measurable, how much? How many? How will I know when I'm done? Achievable, this is basically saying like, can I physically cross it? So instead of saying like, I want to be happy, like how do you really know if you're happy or not? Realistic, if I were to tell you I have a goal of weighing 180 pounds, you should look at me and realize that that's not realistic. That is not going to be a healthy weight for me. That's not a realistic number. That'd be like me saying I want to earn $1 million next year in a new job in tech. Like, is that specific? Yes. Is it measurable? Yes. Is it achievable or realistic? No. And timely, I mean, timely is the last one where you need to set and say, okay, I want to weigh this much by doing this by this time. So a realistic goal for me is I walked the Run for the Roses from Rotary this past month in May. And a realistic SMART goal for me is next Run for the Roses, I want to run. It might still be slow, but I want to run the whole way, all 5K of it. So that is a specific goal. What I want to accomplish, I want to run this. Measurable, by next year. Achievable, I believe so. I'm working towards that. I'm adding a little bit of running to each walk. Realistic, yes, I think it is. It's only 3 miles. I can walk that far. I believe I'll be able to run that far. Timely, I believe so. While a year is a little bit long of a goal, it is a nice long-term goal. Not super long-term, just long-term. So that is one of my goals. Let's see, other types of goals. I would like to be able to put on my socks and shoes and tie my shoes without having to prop it up on a bench or something. I'm giving myself 6 months to do this. Right now, it is very cumbersome for me to take off my socks and shoes or change my shoes in the middle of a store. I have to find a strong bench and all of that. I know I'm a big guy, and so I'll always have to find a strong bench, but that is something I'm going to be working towards. And how am I doing that? I'm stretching every time I go for my walk. I'm stretching my quads, I'm stretching my hips, stretching all the muscles, trying to be more flexible. I'm also working on my diet to lose a little bit of the stomach so I can reach and bend down. Another goal of mine is to shop in a normal store by next year. Once again, a long-term one. Right now I'm a 4X, but the hope is in a year, I'm able to fit into some 2X clothing. I know that's a little bit of a reach, but that is a goal. I'd like to be able to shop in a normal store and buy a 2XL and not a 4XL or a 5XL. So those are some of my goals. So I'd love for some of y'all to comment, say what your goals are below. If you have challenges, comment below. Let me know what your challenges are. Let me know how we can work on this together. This is something that it's definitely better when you work with someone else. Obviously, sometimes it's embarrassing to admit your goals. It's embarrassing for me to say that I can't tie my shoes. I have elastic laces, and I can argue, oh, it's because it makes it more comfortable. I have edema, all these things. But at the end of the day, tying my shoes is a real impossibility. Between my edema, between my size, it's not very easy. So some of our goals are very personal, and I understand that and I respect that. And I want you to know people are going through it, and sometimes it's really nice when you hear other people express similar pains and struggles. So just so you know, you're not alone in a lot of this. Most people are going through stuff similar. Obviously, no one's the same as you, but sometimes it's good to talk about it. I'm here to listen if you want. I'm here to chat. I'll put my socials below. Let's see what else. Coming up in the next video, I plan to explore the new flavors of LaCroix. I've done a 17 LaCroix flavor taste test before I had this channel, so it wasn't on the video, but this time it will be all 17 previous flavors, plus the 3 new summer flavors, and I think the 5 Karate flavors. So we're talking 25 different flavors. This is one of the new ones, black raspberry with 2 Z's. Just got it in yesterday. Pretty excited. I love LaCroix. I love sparkling water. I'm not sponsored by anybody. I just love their drinks. So look forward to that video next week. Otherwise, reach out in the comments. Hope you're having a great day and a great week. And let's get these goals out there. Let's get these challenges. Let's see how far we can push ourselves safely.